Hello, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. It's my first time in Texas.
First time in Texas?
Exciting, yeah.
Are you enjoying Texas so far?
I really, really am.
Listen, you got, or maybe we should thank you because this weather that we're having this weekend was not here a week ago.
Oh, so tell me more.
You brought something from, what's it called? The galaxy, far reaches.
Far, far away.
There you go. So we appreciate you bringing that for us.
Oh, my pleasure.
And you're being joined by some of your cast members. Natasha's here. You must be having a ball together.
Oh my God, it's always so exciting to be together. It's the best time. I really wanted to invade her panel. I was kind of held up at the signings, but I know that you had a wonderful time with her.
We appreciate the thoughts. That's what counts. So I asked her a question because we've not had her here before, we've not had you here before, so I'm going to ask you the same question. What was your experience auditioning for the role of Shin Hati? We have a lot of fans of Shin, right? What was your experience during the audition process, and then where were you? What do you recall from getting that special magic phone call that you were joining the Ahsoka cast?
Yeah, I was working in France at that time, and I mean it's very top secret, right? So you kind of get a vague description of the character, and I got what we call dummy cites, basically cites that are written for the audition or cites from a different movie, and I just did one take, and it was one scene, and afterwards I got a call from the casting director, and basically found out that it was for Star Wars. I got the chance to get on a call with Dave and John, who were very kind to explain to me what the series is about, and told me a little bit about Shin, and of course right away I just wanted to become part of it, and it was quite quick, but I've mentioned it before, I think so much of it has to do with John and Dave leading with intuition and just knowing what they want, and I just feel really lucky that I became part of this family.
And then Shin herself, she's enigmatic, she's intense, she's emotionally restrained. For you, what is your process like to kind of tap into that mental state, and how do you kind of stay there throughout shooting?
I think with Shin, or any lightsaber wielder, it has so much to do with physicality and understanding her body language, and in the first season, a lot of it had to do with, there's this animal called the Tibetan fox, and kind of, I mean, to be honest, visually looks like a child drew it, like the idea of a fox. It was quite messed up, but it just moves with quite great precision, so it was kind of an initiation for me of sorts, and I was studying the fox. I was also studying just martial arts. I did martial arts when I was a kid, aikido, so that was fundamentally what helped me kind of like get through the gates, and then up until the second season you learn that a lot of it, your body kind of keeps the score, and you have physical memory of what you learned in the first season. So my driving force behind it is just hopefully getting better and more precise with my movements, and let Shin unfold or keep unfolding into being, basically. And in regards to her darkness or intensity, I think, not to be too actory, but I think the more you understand humanity and the other side of the spectrum, the more you understand your own mind and heart and the people around you, it leads to only understanding that darkness within somebody else, if it makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. We appreciate you saying that. We have a lot of fan questions. This one is from Blake. Blake, where are you, sir? Right here. There you go. Perfect.
Hello.
And I love your shirt. Rico's Rough Decks. We have to do that, by the way, when the panel comes up here. I'll talk to the moderator for that one. But Blake would like to know what moment for your character most reflects you in real life?
Wow, that's such a good question. I don't think anybody has ever asked me that question.
Good job, Blake.
I think with Shin, I think what I resonate most with her about is her desire to understand herself and understand her beginning. in some ways, Shin, not to be, not to speak too deeply about my own beginning, but she's, when I was 8 years old, in some ways, so she leads me to finding more grace and love towards myself and that child self, and so it's a profound experience to get to explore her and understand her being, because it leads to me understanding my own.
You are a force wielder, and you also wield a lightsaber. And so unless you were growing up with those things, I imagine there's an intense regimen and training, and it's probably taking you maybe months, or maybe you're a pro at it and it took you just a few weeks to get into it. But can you describe all the work and effort and energy it takes for you to not only do all that on set, all the choreography and all of that, but you're also having to act while doing these things? And it might seem like it's easy because you guys do it so effortlessly, but I know there's a lot of work that goes into that.
I think what I've gotten to really learn about lightsaber combat, if you will, is I really want it to be not just a choreography, but understanding the conversation between two wielders and the conversation between two fighters. So understanding the philosophy behind it and the reason behind the strikes was really important to me. I think the more you allow yourself, the more you allow for it to sit in your body and lend into your movements, the easier it becomes. I think so much of it has to do with that trust and with being present. Because once you understand the fight better, you can actually have a conversation within it. And so in the fight, even if you miss a strike, you're able to come back and make it make sense, you know. So I don't take it lightly at all. I think it's a great honor to hold a lightsaber, and I can only hope that I can continue growing within my understanding of it and how I operate with it.
I also imagine, because again, this is all very difficult to pick up and learn and memorize, so there's probably little things, little actions that happen. You might hit someone accidentally. I think Hayden was here last year talking about a lot of bruised knuckles and a lot of that. So for you, what are some of those challenges learning this choreography like?
Sir, I've hit myself so many times. Oh my God. I remember in the first season, I was brought into a clinic because I hit myself with a lightsaber and I got a tiny concussion from it. And so the doctor, when he was writing the document, I still have the document. It was like the reason for injury, hit by a lightsaber. And then honestly, that only continued even in the second season. There's a few moments, even captured on camera, when I just yanked myself. But thankfully, I didn't hit too many of my opponents. It only has to do with me injuring myself, which is, you know, maybe I prefer just hitting myself instead of others. I don't know.
I've done a lot of interviews with Jedi, and that's the first time I've ever heard of someone hitting themselves that many times. That's amazing. Celeste has a question. Celeste, where are you? She's here somewhere. Oh, back there. Holding the lightsaber.
Yes.
Celeste would like to know, what's the best part about playing a villain?
Oh, it's delicious. I just think it's so exciting to get to be a rascal, for lack of a better word. I think the best part of playing a villain, I don't know, the whole, the ability to dive into the darkness, and I think you only come out on the other side understanding more about, you come out on the other side having more compassion towards others and understand the reason behind certain actions. And also, I mean, to be fair, in this case, playing a villain in Star Wars, getting to hold a lightsaber that holds the dark force is sacred to me, so that's the coolest part.
This next question is from Patrick. Patrick, where are you, sir? Patrick's over here. Great question here, Patrick. He would like to know, what do you think is a force power you would like to have, but you would abuse in real life? Oh, Patrick.
Force power that I would like to have that I would abuse. I mean, it's easy to abuse any power once you have it, right? So you could abuse anything if you don't have the balance within it. I would say, I mean, when I look at the current state of the world, I wish I could force choke, you know, but but it's not, Patrick, how the world works. So I do want to believe that we can lead with light and only grow from it. But yeah.
This next question is from Veronica, who claims to be your BFF. Veronica, BFF?
Hi. Hi.
I think she's actually right about that. Okay. I'll ask the second part of this, if that's okay. Do you prefer the Force or a saber? Maybe to you, what looks cooler on screen?
Dear BFF, how can you compare the two? They're part of the same. A Force or can you? Oh man. I would say the Force, because holding a lightsaber is connected to holding a force within yourself as well. So I would say the Force. I'll have to go with the Force. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question here is from Mark. Mark, where are you, sir? There he goes.
Hi.
I saw you like, oh, it's me. Mark would like to know, was it difficult for you to learn English, having grown up in Ukraine?
Thank you for the question. I left Ukraine when I was 13, and I sort of left on my own. I didn't speak any English at that time, so I remember landing in Canada for the first time, and I couldn't even buy a bus ticket. I would say also that at the same time, I was 13, so it's much easier to learn the language when you're younger, and being dipped into the environment made it that much easier. At this time, I mean, there are certain languages that I wish to be able to be fluent in, like I here and there try to learn Japanese a little bit, but it's much more difficult when you're an adult. So learning through watching films and just listening to the environment around me was very helpful. Yeah.
His next question, I hope I say these right. Is it Divi and Fafa? Did I say that right? Fantastic.
Hello.
She's already got the camera ready. They want to know, this is a good one by the way, how do you channel the dark side? That's an important impression of Ian.
I think part of channeling the dark side kind of translates to, if you would agree, to what religion is. And I think what any religion teaches us through meditation or prayer is presentness. So in order to really channel the dark side, it has to do with being aligned with yourself and being present. So having that practice that leads me to alignment is the ticket.
We have a question from Larry. Larry, where are you, sir? Larry's right over there. Larry would love to know, what was your favorite memory working on season 1 of Ahsoka?
Favorite memory? Yes, Speedy. Favorite memory, I mean, so many, because it was just the beginning of the journey and beginning of being a part of the family. I remember holding the lightsaber for the first time, which I'm sure you can imagine how special that is. I remember the first day of filming. It was very much the opening sequence in the first episode, and it's just a mix of emotion, being nervous and excited, and being by Ray's side, and us not even believing that we get to be a part of this world. So I always hold that moment very close in my heart. Filming the first fight was really, really amazing. Every single moment I have, to be honest, I spoke at length about it, but Ray and I would always remind each other how special it is to be there. So every single day was like the first one for us, So yeah, just being a part of it, being part of the family is my favorite memory. I know it's a very broad answer, but it's true.
I asked this to Natasha, and I think I've asked this to most of the Star Wars actors we've had on this stage, because everybody's had a very unique experience doing it. Your first either costume test or your first dress rehearsal, just putting on Shin's outfit for the first time. What is that feeling like? What does that mean to you?
It's a feeling of a certain responsibility. I think thanks to Dave and John and how much of a collective experience they make it to be. Both Ray and I got to be a part of the creation of the costume. I remember speaking to Shauna Restrersol, our costume designer on the first season. They invited us, they invited us to actually have the conversation. I remember Ray brought up moldavite. It's natural glass that was created by a meteor impact millions of years ago, and you can find it in the area of Czech Republic. But Ray has had this idea of moldavite being part of his costume and my costume, so I carry it in my Padawan braid, and he carries it in his ring and also his belt. So that was really amazing to add to our costumes. I remember hearing about the reason behind like every texture and every color that was added to our costumes, and why Shauna thought that it was imperative that it looked the way it did. So if anything, I learned so much about storytelling through Shauna and Dave and the decisions they were making. But it was very much a collective experience. I never expected to have that in Star Wars, because sometimes you can feel like you're a part of such a big environment and big world, and it ends up just being deeply contained and family-like. Yeah. And
Natasha said almost the same thing that you did, and she actually used the word intent. That her costume, the things that she done, the decisions made on set, character motivations, everything has an intent behind it. And that's what she actually appreciated and loved about working in this universe.
I so agree. It's very intentional. Everything is. It truly is.
This next question, probably already know what it is, but did you have a favorite Star Wars character before joining Ahsoka? And if so, who was it? No name, I apologize.
Darth Vader. I know it's not... maybe unoriginal, but it really is. And also, guys, I remember I didn't get to watch Star Wars when I was a kid, so I really became part of the world when I started becoming part of Ahsoka. And in some ways, I hold deep gratitude for it, because I became a kid when I was watching the original films, and I got to do it with my best friend. And his parents had a Star Wars themed wedding, so it's somebody who truly, truly like bleeds Star Wars. And I remember I didn't even know the line, "I am your father." So you can imagine me being what I was like. I think I was like 21, and I was just watching the film, and suddenly, the discovery of it was so raw and such an original experience to me. So yeah, Darth Vader all the way. Yeah.
Anybody else fan of Darth Lord? Got a question here from Jake from Chicago. Jake, where are you, sir? Right here. Oh. Yeah, BFFs everywhere. Great question, Jake. What was your reaction to getting the call for Megan 2.0? Any fans? And how was that experience for you?
Getting a call for I remember reading the script, and I actually really did like the original script, and I thought that it was funny. And upon reading it, I got to meet with Gerard, our director, who is originally from New Zealand, but he flew into LA, and we did a couple of scenes together, play around with what Amelia could be, and it was a pretty quick and smooth process. It was really fun to create. I got to also explore New Zealand, and the land is deeply special, so thank you for the question. I hope you enjoyed.
There are a couple of questions here, and I also had one, so I'm going to try and organize these a little bit. What is something that you can share with the rest of us about Ray? Maybe just something offset, a conversation. I hate to bombard you with this, but I think he prepared and brought a certain level of authenticity and stoicism that we had not seen probably in a really long time in this franchise, and we all very miss him, and I know you do too, but what can you share with us about Ray?
It's always an honor to speak about Ray. What you have described about him, that sort of authenticity, minus stoicism in real life, because he carried such immense humor and wisdom. In many ways, he has become what a master is. He became a true friend. And he understood the force and the philosophy behind Star Wars to such depth that it continues to lead us and lead what I do in the second season and my journey with Shin. His passing from the physical realm only translated into really him becoming a Force ghost. He taught me what it's like to gain wings when somebody is no longer here but continues to lead you. And knowing him and knowing his light is one of the biggest gifts in my life. And although we knew each other maybe for like 2 years, really, he became one of the most influential people in my life, and his children and his partner Betta are now my own family, and they got to visit me when we were filming the second season in London, so I see them often and I intend on knowing them for the rest of my life. And Ray is very much at the forefront of how I lead my life and the choices I make, because I think he's really one of a kind. He's larger than life. Thank you.
We had a couple of questions about Ray from Lucky and the Where Are You Guys? There you go, there you go. I think we're going to leave Ray at that. I had the honor of interviewing Rory a few months back, and I was one of the lucky few that got to ask him about nothing about the new season, but just his excitement and the responsibility that he felt taking over for such a phenomenal actor like Ray. So without any details, can you describe Rory and the two of you either talking about joining this franchise, or you're now taking him under your wing, as Ray probably did for you. So what has it been like working with the great Rory McKenna? Any fans of Rory? I can't be alone here.
Rory's amazing. What you describe as intentionality, responsibility, and he brought deep meaning into Balin, and without over speaking, because I really want his work to speak for itself. I think you will be impressed and surprised, and seeing him honor what Ray has created and witnessing him bringing his own into Balin's shoes and his own brilliance has been something that I do not take for granted. So I'm really excited to see what the second season is going to be like. But being by his side and sharing that space was wonderful. Yeah, Rory is amazing. I'm sure we all have seen his work, so we're very lucky to have him be part of the second season.
It couldn't have happened to a better individual, I think.
I agree.
He's on cloud nine. He's just living his childhood dreams. So
that makes me very
it's
happy.
amazing to get a chance to talk to him about it so early. What do you hope audiences take away from Shin's journey so far?
So far, you mean the first season?
Only the first season. Don't get me in trouble.
It's so difficult not to say anything. From the first season is, as I said earlier, I think allowing someone to keep unfolding into being and understanding that we all come from different paths, and sometimes the darkness that we lead with is unintentional. It's difficult not to judge when that affects others, but finding kindness for one another, understanding for one another, and not dealing in absolutes is something that I think we can all learn from.
I love that. I asked Natasha this question, so I'm going to be fair and ask you the same thing. One word to help us understand, or how you would describe what we're in for season 2.
I wonder what Natasha said.
She actually cheated. She said bigger and better.
Oh God. Well, that's true. That's true. Companionship. I'll pick that one.
I saved this one for last because I think this means more to you than everyone else in here. So if I can just hand this to you.
Oh, thank you. Who wrote this? It says, Slava Ukraini. Thank you, Heroям Slava. Glory to Ukraine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for welcoming me in Texas. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this conversation.
We are so happy that you made this trip. We are so excited to see where Shin's journey takes place from here on out. You left us with a wonderful cliffhanger, and we cannot wait to see what's in store for season 2. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
San Antonio, make some noise for